Hey everybody, it's Kelly with Inky Hands Warm Hearts. I'm so happy to be here with you today. I hope that you are excited to learn how to make this really fun card. We're using Happiness Abounds. It is a brand new bundle in the new 2023 annual catalog. It is actually the bundle that is on the front cover, so I hope that you will enjoy the process. The bundle has a stamp set and dies, but there's also this gorgeous designer series paper that comes with it, or that you can purchase separately. I'm sorry, it doesn't come with it. The bundle is two parts, the dies and the stamp set, but the designer series paper is kind of like an add-on that you can get, and it is amazing. It has all these gorgeous flowers in there, and that's what I used. All of the dies cut these flowers out. So this one was cut with this die, the large with this. This one here was with this one, and even the leaves, it cuts those out, which is really amazing. Now these were cut by hand, these little teeny tiny flowers. They're kind of in between all of the others. I've salvaged a few of them just for some little fill-ins. And this die right here, which is really unusual, is what I used to do this background, which is super cool. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to show you how to make this amazing card. I'll show you the inside. And I love the fonts on this card. I love that there's printed and script mixed together. It is such a beautiful, beautiful bundle, and I hope that you will be interested in purchasing it. If you are, you can go to my website, inkyhandswarmhearts.com, click on Shop With Me, and it'll take you to my online store where you can purchase whatever it is that your heart desires. This is also a new set of dies. They're called Stylish Shapes, and they're amazing. It's the circle that I used here on the inside, and it is the second one down, not the biggest, but the next one down. So this is a really awesome add-on as well. So definitely check out these products in my online store. Let's go ahead and get started, and I'm going to show you how to make this really awesome card. So we're going to start with a piece of basic white thick, and it's our thicker of the two whites. We have a regular size weight and a thick, and this one's the thick one. So we're going to go ahead and flip this over. We're going to fold over our score line. I'm going to hold the corners together, and I'm going to bring in my bone folder here and give it a nice burnish. Now that piece is 8.5 by 5.5. Then I've cut a piece of 4 inches by 5 1/4, and I have used that die that I was talking about that does that really neat cutout. What I love is that you can see the colors behind it, and I think it's such a beautiful die. So we're going to turn the card this way, and then this is going to get attached right there on top. Super simple. So let me grab my silicone mat. I'm going to be using my wet glue today, and I'm going to go ahead and show you how I go about doing this. So the first thing I'm going to do is work my way around the outer edges, because that's super important, of course. And we want to also get this area here. But I also want to do these little areas here in between, because I want the whole piece to stick down nicely. All right. So let's go ahead and flip this over. And the reason I use a silicone mat is I tend to make a mess sometimes when I am using wet glue, and it just helps. Now, wet glue is awesome because it gives you that wiggle room. You can kind of slide this around and get it into place. And when you're happy with it, you just kind of press your hands down and make sure that it secures itself rather nicely. So there we go. So now we have a piece of basic white, and it's cut with that second largest circle die that I was showing you from the Stylish Shapes. And it's a pretty cool circle, isn't it? So we're going to stamp on it right there that says, "You are wonderful in every way." We're going to be using one of the new in colors. This paper is actually one of the in colors. It's called Starry Sky, but I wanted to go a little bit lighter with my stamping. And so I am using Orchid Oasis. It's a little shade lower, and we're going to do the "You are wonderful in every way." So we're going to ink that up. And I'm going to kind of put it down and to the right here, kind of in this area here near this bottom end, but not too low, okay? So we'll put it right there. Hopefully you guys can see it. I'm in camera. I think I am. So we'll go ahead and press that. Looks awesome. We'll close that up for right now. I'm going to clean my stamp because if not, I tend to get ink on myself when I'm working, and that's never fun, right? So let's look at the inside of this card while we let the shape sit off to the side for a minute. So on the inside, we have a flower, and then we have sending many thanks for all you do. So let's go ahead and get that out of the way as well. So we're going to bring our little card right here. And then this one is going to be in the Orchid Oasis again. So I'm going to reopen that. Sending many thanks for all you do. Make sure I got all my, woo, let me clean that. I got a little out of hand. This is why I keep my stamp cleaner close, because like I said, I can be a little bit messy when I stamp sometimes. So you got to be ready for all things. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and put this here in the center. Sending many thanks for all you do. And then we're going to put this really pretty flower. This is our fresh freesia. It's also an in color, but it's an in color from last year. And I love this color. I think it's beautiful. We're going to put this flower right here in that corner. All right, so let's close our card. We're going to work on the outside, but I'm going to clean these stamps before I stick my finger in it again. We'll clean this one. We've done all of our stamping because we are going to be using flowers that are out of the beautiful designer series paper that is called Hues of Happiness DSP. So you can check that out in the in my online store. So I'm going to put the card here so we can see how I kind of set it up. So we have our little circle and we are going to start gluing. So the first thing is we're going to be placing our pieces. So it looks like this flower is partially on and partially off. So maybe just this end needs a little glue. This one is kind of overlap it. You can see, you can't see any of that dip that's there. And so that kind of covers that up. And this one comes kind of far down, about there. I'm just placing them for right now so that we can see where they go. Now this one's going to go underneath and it's kind of going to meet with that one. They kind of like, this one goes over the top of it a little bit like that, maybe a little bit farther out. We're just going to kind of set it up how we want it because that's half the battle, right? Is figuring out what we want to do. And then it looks like we have a little leaf here, and this one's also tucked under and it's kind of overlapping. Then we have this purple flower. That one's over the top. And it kind of, this peak kind of touches that leaf. And I don't want it to cover my words, so I'm going to move it over. Like that. That looks pretty good to me. And it looks like this leaf here is tucked underneath. And then we have some tiny flowers that kind of fill in. And I have 3 of them. They're not all going to be the same size because the paper has just flowers in between all of these larger flowers. And so because of that, I didn't, they're all kind of different. So I'm going to move this big one. I'm going to start with this kind of, this fresh freesia one. So I'm just going to put adhesive for right now on this piece. And remember, this part's kind of hanging off. So that's kind of there. And then we can glue this one down because it's going to overlap. So it looks like we're going to put glue on most of this, or at least half. So we're going to put some down here. And the reason I'm doing it on this mat is if I get glue where it doesn't belong, it doesn't matter because it's on the mat and we will figure it out later. So I'm just kind of like, you know, playing around trying to figure out how this was positioned earlier on my other card. And it looks like right about there like that. So we'll go ahead and put that down. That looks pretty good to me. Now, let's do this leaf because it's kind of off by itself. We'll put a little bit of adhesive kind of where it's tucked in. And we'll tuck that in here like that. All right. Now, this flower is just kind of sitting on top, so we can go ahead and go with that, and then we'll do these last 2 pieces. So it looks like this top section and then part of this side section is on here. We just want to make sure that the flower doesn't touch our stamping. So we'll put that into place right there. Now these 2 are tucked underneath. We'll start with the blue flower and then we'll tuck the leaf under there. So let's put some adhesive on this little petal here and this one, and then this where it's not showing. And we're gonna kind of slide it into place where we want it and, you know, kind of position it. And then once we're happy with the placement of it, I'm gonna move that in there, move this out a little bit more. I want a little bit of that dark color showing, yeah. We're gonna fill that little hole there with this leaf. So I'm gonna go ahead and definitely we're gonna put some here. It looks like this leaf is completely tucked, so I'm gonna put a little bit of adhesive on it and part of this one. That will give us, we're gonna tuck this up here like this. And most of that flower, yeah, just like that. Maybe a little bit deeper, good. So now we're gonna fill in with these little baby flowers. So this is our blue one. So we'll go ahead and put a little bit of adhesive on there. I'm gonna grab my tweezers. I keep them in a drawer here next to me. And we're gonna pick those up. And it kind of fills this little gap here. I'm gonna put the leaves this direction. And there is that flower. This one's on the edge. Let's do this itty bitty teeny one. So I'm gonna pick it up with the tweezers first because it's so small. And that, if I go to pick it up once I put glue on it, it's gonna be a disaster. And that one has kind of a leaf on it. So I'm gonna put the leaf towards the inside since there's a green leaf where it's going, and that way the leaf will show on our white cardstock. And then we're gonna do this last flower. Again, I'm gonna go ahead and grab it first. And we will put a little bit of adhesive on it. And then we're gonna go ahead and this one's gonna go in this corner here. So we're just gonna kind of let it fill in and tap it into place. All right, that's it for wet glue because we are gonna be using dimensionals on the rest of it. All right, so let me grab my dimensionals and then we are also going to, flip this piece over. And remember I told you, see all that adhesive? That's why it's so awesome to use the silicone mat. See, because this adhesive that got on here, we can just rub it right off with our fingers. It kind of like balls up and then you just like put it right in the trash, just like that. So we're gonna go ahead and start putting some dimensionals on our outer pieces first. I'm kind of a dimensional lover. I use a lot of dimensionals, but I do stamp a ton. So I want to put some on the inside here. I want some support around this circle. I'm going to use some smaller ones, some minis, where these leaves are. And I think I'm going to put another one right here. And then I'm gonna put another mini right here where this little piece kind of holds on there, and maybe one right there. I really don't need this many dimensionals, but you know, I can't help myself. I just keep putting more and more on. So I'm gonna use my Take Your Pick tool. I love this tool. And we're gonna come in and I'm just gonna pierce into the foam and pull up. And I'm gonna get all the little ones first. One more. All right, so there's the minis. They're all on here, and then I just flick them right into the trash can. Now I'm gonna come and do the large one. I don't think I can fit that many on here as I did with the small. I'm gonna do 5 at a time. And you can see how many times I've done 5, right? Oh my goodness. I get a little crazy with the dimensionals sometimes, but there we go. All right, let's put our cover on for right now. I'm gonna probably end up taking it off again. We're gonna flip this over. And we're going to bring over our card and we're going to figure out how we want it to be placed on here, where we want to put it, how much to the side do we want it, how far down do we want it. I kind of want it like this, I think, and I think that looks pretty awesome. What do you guys think? I'm just going to make sure that my words are straight, and they are. And I'm just going to press that into place, get all those dimensionals to stick. I love that lift. And it just gives it, you can see from the top there, it gives it that nice little separating it from the bottom layer. So now we're going to put our beautiful little butterflies. These are called brushed brass butterflies. And yes, the name is crazy, right? But we're going to pull these out of here. We're going to do one little one and 2 big ones. So I'm going to grab the pointy end again. And I'm going to lift one of these big guys off of here. Make sure it sticks really good. I'm going to put one here flying near this flower. We'll put a baby one next to it to keep it company. maybe flying in this direction here, angled, and press that good. And then we'll put another big one, how I did down here. I think that one looks pretty cool. So we're gonna grab that one. Maybe we'll put it on this side this time, on this piece. What do you think? Yeah, I think so. All right. So those are our 3 little butterflies flying around. Let's see the inside of our card. I think it turned out pretty awesome. Let's put these guys away. And then I will bring in the stamp set again for you guys to see real quick. There wasn't much measurement for this card. It's a fairly simple card. The hardest part is cutting, you know, your flowers. So we used Happiness Abounds bundle and we added the stylish shapes to it. So don't forget about those. This bundle is amazing. The paper is called Happiness Hues, or Hues of Happiness, excuse me. And I think the card turned out awesome. I hope you guys are happy with it. I am, I mean, I think it looks awesome. Hopefully I'm not too crooked here. I do tend to move my mat around some when I'm stamping, so I apologize if I'm crooked, but hey, I'm real. This is real stamping, right? Hashtag no edits. All right, so thanks again for watching. I really appreciate it. If you don't have a demonstrator, I would love to be your demonstrator. Hit me up and let me know that you need one. Give me some thumbs up if you don't mind. Share my video, and definitely check out all the links that I have in the description below. I have a link to my newsletter so that if you want to get promotions, I have a weekly newsletter that goes out. There's links to my website so that you can go to my online store. You'll click on Shop with Me once you get to my website. On my YouTube channel itself, there's lots of videos. I have playlists for every stamp set that I've used so far on YouTube. So there's at least 3 videos for each stamp set. And so I do between 3 and 5 videos a week. So definitely check out my channel. If you're new, please subscribe. I would greatly appreciate it. And thanks so much for joining me today. I'm so grateful to have you. Definitely check out my website, and I will see you next time. This is Kelly with Inky Hands Warm Hearts. Happy stamping!